the window. Oh, I want to see him. Hey. Huggy, huggy.
Patrick Jordan. Jordan said he and collaborators Dave Mansueto and Pete Spinda initially expected a shorter run.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How is it going? Welcome to Alone Together Pittsburgh, streaming at you live from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I am your host, Patrick Jordan, here again for episode 168, week 55, getting capped off here of Alone Together Pittsburgh. We started the show, obviously. We were the first out of the box right when the shelter-in-place order came down. We might have even been a day ahead of it. And we've been plugging away ever since, 3 or 4 episodes a week. We tightened it down to 3, and here we are. We've got Bunny over here, Suds McCrackoff is his new name, I guess, but that's the Bunny Cam. We're going to be checking to that periodically. Thank you for joining us tonight. We've got a fantastic show for you tonight. It's a regular contributor doubleheader. We've got NATALIE Bencivenga, and we're getting double of NATALIE. We've got Ask NATALIE Advice, the segment, which we've launched in here, making it official, right? And later, we're going to have 5 minutes with NATALIE Bencivenga, and she'll be here to tell you about that, who's going to be on there at the end of Ask NATALIE Advice. Then later on in the night, we have Local Brews with the one and only BRACEY. He'll be brewing on beer, Barrel and Flow Fest, and anything else that's on his mind, and it's going to be fantastic. But we've got some other fun stuff to talk about before we jump to that. Wouldn't be doing the show if it wasn't a pandemic, so we do this every night. Allegheny County, new COVID cases, 441, 6 new deaths, unfortunately. So we're worse off than we were a few weeks ago. So remember that everyone's getting vaccinated now. That's cool. The weather's getting nice. You want to be done with this. I want to be done with this, but we're so close. Let's just keep on wearing a mask. Don't be a jag. Just put on the mask. Keep social distancing. Don't take your foot off the gas here. We are so close, folks. Okay, I'm just saying it's close. Vaccinations, the vaccination site's up. You can go and get registered for when you want to get your vaccination. It's on there. We had it on the show last night. I don't remember the name of the link to it right now, but we'll get it to you before the show's over tonight. So get on that. Keep it going. Keep washing your hands. Keep social distancing. We're so close. I know there's holidays going on. Today's Good Friday. I get it. But please, please, please keep that up. Now, that's aside. Before we get to the meat and potatoes of the show tonight, I want to do a quick check-in on my buddy Pete Spinda. Pete, how you feeling, buddy? If you watched the show last night, we did a hot dog deep dive, and Pete had eaten 9 IKEA veggie dogs.
Technically 10.
I don't think so, Pete. On the show, you ate 9 veggie dogs. If you decided to eat one off camera before the show started, that's on you, buddy. That was your choice. But during the show,
never going to deliver a dog to you again if you're not going to give me that extra dog. I want double digits, damn it.
We'll see. We'll see what happens tonight. You had a shot, man. It was close. 9 or 10, it was impressive, man. That's all I can say. It was impressive. Just the buns alone. How'd you feel today?
I felt okay.
Did you wake up normal?
A little bloated, but I slept like a dream.
Was it because of the bread that you felt?
I think so. I mean, I feel like my cheeks are a little puffier today. Like, I don't know.
That's a lot of bread. That's a lot of carb. That's what they call carb loading. That's like
I don't think I'm ever going to eat another one of those again.
Yeah, I could see where that would be detrimental to the IKEA brand of veggie dogs. But I didn't get to ask you last night, though. I mean, look at those dogs, folks. Do we have any gifts of Pete that we wanted to run? But anyway, yeah. So when you bought all of those hot dogs, were they like ready to go, or were they like what?
They were kind of like, wait, what? And I was like, can I get 30 of them?
What was they did it obviously, but like they
were actually really nice. Like the woman working there was really nice. She was like, sure, just give me like 15, 20 minutes. I got to heat them up and get them ready. I said, great, I'll be back in a little bit.
Wow.
So, it's pretty simple.
At 70 cents a pop to make 30 at a clip. Look at those things. All right. Is that appetizing to you?
Right now?
Yeah.
I mean, it just so happens, Patrick, I have the rest of them right here.
Oh my God. If we just did part 2, our viewership would just drop. Anyway, good on you, man. So last night I've been dying to talk to you about it and see how you woke up, how you feel.
Yeah, next week I'm going on a salad cleanse. Like I'm going to just eat like fruits and veggies for the next couple weeks.
We'll see how much salad you can eat. All right. Do it on there. Hey. So
switch it up a little bit.
All right. Sounds good to me. All right. So this was another one of you there. And like after the show, I remembered all of these different like movies where there was giant like hot dog gorging. So I texted them all over. I was just a day late and $1 short on that one. It could have been there for everybody at home. But cool, man. Good on you. So let's move things along. I'm going to move things along here with the show. I'm proud of you for yesterday. You took 9 for the team. Look at you. That's Dave over your shoulder giving you confidence. If you didn't see the show last night, this is what it looked like. This is Pete.
Dave was just
to you for pulling that thing off. But we've got something else coming up here tonight. But I want to plug our sponsor, who normally sponsors our in-show poll. But we're doing something different than an in-show poll that you can play at home. But we'll get to that in a second. But first, I want to tell you a little bit about Engine House 25 Winery. Go to eh25.com. You can find out a lot more than I can tell you. But I will tell you that the wine is fantastic. I put it up against any wine from anywhere. The grapes come from everywhere from Napa to Chile and everywhere in between. You can get anything you need there. And if you tell them that you found out about them from Alone Together Pittsburgh, you get $5 off per bottle. Doesn't matter which bottle you're getting, you get $5 off. It doesn't matter how many you buy, $5 off per bottle. They're doing free delivery during the pandemic, and they do curbside. And I believe starting next week, they have different hours for their tasting room. So check that all out at EH25. I know that at EH25.com. I know the Roberto Clemente Museum, which is in the same kind of building, they're going to start doing tours again on the 4th or 7th. So I'm not sure which, but get on that EH25. Thank you. So what we're doing tonight is we're launching something else, a new game, right, that you can play at home and that I'm going to play right now. I don't know what it is, but Dave, do you want to intro this bad boy? I'll do it.
I guess I'm brought in to intro the show or the new game.
I can intro it and you can take it. Go ahead. Do it.
Well, so the new game is, Dave, you got the graphic ready? He doesn't have the graphic ready.
Okay, so let me talk a little more.
All right, let's talk a little more, Patrick.
Let's talk a little more.
What do you got?
Okay, so, well, I want to go back to this IKEA hot dog thing.
Oh, shit. We're going to linger on this a little longer?
Well, I don't know. I mean, what I want to know
You
is...
have to keep bringing it up until you're forcing me to,
talk about poop.
Oh.
Did you have a movement?
Let's get over this.
The
There we
graphic.
go.
Pete, take it.
So we're going to play a new game tonight. Yeah, you're Dick knows or no. And so we're going to view people wearing their masks, but from the eyes up. So first you're going to see just the eyes of people, and based on the top half of their head, you're going to have to decide, are they dick nosing or are they wearing their mask properly?
And before that, the dick nosing, let's describe what that is. Do we have a graphic? There was a famous meme or a GIF that we did probably month 1 of the show here. So I feel
like the dick nose thing was probably like a few months in. I feel like it didn't come too soon.
Okay. But do we have that graphic? I don't want to put Dave out, but
Dave,
it's just,
you
okay.
Got it?
So it's basically,
You said that's lost in the wind.
Okay, that's fine. That's lost in the wind. So basically, it's like it was a cartoon of a man with his nose out of his mask, and then next to it, it was a man in his tighty whities with his member outside of it, and it's like wearing your nose out of your mask. It's like wearing your wiener, like Pete had 9 yesterday, outside of your underpants. So there you go. Now you got the backstory. Let's roll it.
All right, Patrick. I don't know who he's bringing in first, but it's going to be up to you to decide.
So I'm going to do a couple, just me, because you know what the answers are to this, right?
I do.
And then maybe we'll do it with Natalie, and then maybe we'll do it with Day later too.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So,
this is going to be
Dave, you ready with the graphic?
Thing. Go for
it. Dave, you're muted in case you're trying to come in this show. But Dave says number 1's coming in hot.
All right.
He's
All right,
getting mad because I can hear him in this ear, but he doesn't like the fact that I'm talking to him. So
okay, so
this is the first person.
Oh boy, I'm gonna say that this nose is
it in or out?
I'm gonna say that nose is in.
All right.
Dave?
What about if this is somebody you know and love?
Oh no. Yeah, that's why I thought it was somebody that I know and love, and that's why I'm pretty sure it's going to be out. But I overthought myself, like Wallace Shawn did in The Princess Bride with the cups with the poison in it. I kind of overthought this here. I'm going to say the nose is in, but it's probably out. It's in.
No, it's out.
That's out.
It's out.
That's a dick nose.
That's
is
a
Michael
dick
Keaton,
nose.
Pittsburgh's own Michael Keaton. Now he's riding a bike. Maybe he's like 20 feet, 6 feet away, but that's a dick nose. That's Michael Keaton's rosy Christmas time dick nose right there.
Oh man.
Lose -1.
Bummer. All right. Okay.
And for every point you go down, you have to eat an IKEA veggie dog.
The ones from yesterday, the ones that are still cold. That's
all right, with the stale buns now.
There's got to
All
be
right.
steaks in
All
this.
right.
We got to
Okay.
get the steaks.
So you at home, fire this up. Give it in. Donna's got this going too. She's 1 for 1. All right. All right. Let's do one
Got
more.
another one,
Wanna do
Dave?
one more? I'm gonna
and then
do
we'll
one
bring in-
more,
let's do one more, and we'll bring in Natalie.
Another famous. I like the famous people one. Let's
Oh boy.
let's see here. No. All right, we're gonna change it up. Let's change it up. This one.
But
one's
he was
pretty hot.
outdoors on his bike, and in
Yeah, I mean, it's
transit. It
allowed, but
could've
whether or
slipped
not he was
down.
dick nosing or not.
Don't be a
Yeah.
dick nose apologist. It's a dick nose
not
whether you're
really.
home by yourself, in your basement, in your attic, or outside. It's still a dick nose.
All right.
If it quacks like a dick nose and sneezes like a dick nose, it's
All
a
right,
dick nose. Man.
talk to me. Give me the next one, and then I'll get to.
You
some
ready for
guests.
this? The next one. Here it comes.
The
Coming in
suspense
hot.
is killing us.
This is
Is that you, Patrick?
Oh God. Yeah,
It
nice
looks like it
eyebrows.
could be you.
Nice
His
eyebrows.
eyebrows
on
look
this
very
gentleman.
suspicious. We're not sure that this isn't you, Patrick. Sorry for the double neg, but I'm pretty sure that there is a chance. High probability. What are you saying on this one?
I'm going to say the nose is in. Wait a
What,
minute.
what
no,
leads you to believe the nose is in or out? I want a little. Give us a little color to this.
Because he
Okay,
thinks
yeah.
it's him.
No, all right. So I'm going to say
He's
that,
like, I remember this night. I was
Here's
out.
why I'm going to say the nose is out. All right. And I'm changing it now because I'm looking at this. All right. And it's not because of the, wait a minute. You're trying to trick me because of that American flag do-rag. It's probably in, but I was going to say it's out. I'm going with out.
Is that it, Patrick? Because
No, it's
remember,
because of the-
reminder,
the
you have
ear
one.
strap.
You have one cold hot dog. That
The ear
you are
strap,
committed.
Dave. The ear strap, Dave. The ear strap looks like it's pulled downward.
You can say ear strap,
It's
but
out.
those
It's
hot
out.
dogs are
It's out.
gonna be.
Wieners, it's out. It's out. It's a dick nose.
There we go.
Technically, that's not a
God,
dick nose.
That is just a dick. That's just a dick. All right, fine.
That's worse.
Fine.
That's a double dick nose.
That's a double dick nose. So
That's a
I
dick
got that
nose
one.
and a butt
I'm saying
face.
I'm saying that was right, and that man is the cliche that he is. Not only is anyway. Okay, so that's it. All right, so good. At least I'm 1 for 1. I'm 1 and 1. Wow, that's horrible. I can't.
We want to do one more, or should we move on to Nat, and then you guys could do a couple together?
All right, let's
Maybe we should move on to Nat, and then
let's move on to Natalie. I want to do some Ask Natalie advice. Then we'll wrap it up with that. Then maybe we'll bring in Day, and we'll do like we'll have all of us on there and do it.
Oh, we've got plenty to go around.
All right, so I do one more. Do one more. Let's do one more.
You got one more, Dave?
All right, one more is coming in. Hang on, I got to
All
pick
right, one more. All right, here we go. I'm ready. I'm going rapid fire.
All right.
Here we go. This is
right.
gonna be a good one. You ready for this?
Uh-huh.
We need some dick nose music too.
Oh wow, that's another famous one. That's definitely out. That's definitely out. That's a former president, I think. That's definitely out.
There we go.
You dodged the hot dog bullet, Patrick. That's only one stinky dog, one cold chili dog. You got
I
a
gotta
chili,
tell
and
you,
by chili, I mean choli, like CHILLY.
Good old Slick Willie. You could definitely tell that was pulled down. That strap was pulled down around his ear. There was no way that could have covered the schnoz. All right, so I'm 2 and 1. All right, I'm 2 and 1. I'm not feeling terrible, but I think it's time to move on here to our next guest. Our first guest, our regular Friday night contributor. We're going to find out right now from nationally syndicated advice columnist Natalie Bencivenga. We're going to ask Natalie advice. Let's find out what's happening here in the beginning of our 2-part Natalie show.
Hey guys.
Hey, Nat, what's going on?
I just want you to know that I had 2 out of 3 of those right.
Did you get the first one?
Yes.
You'll have your chance, Natalie. You'll
I
have
know,
your
but
chance.
I'm just saying, Dave, that I got 2 out of 3 of those right off stage. That's all.
Those dogs are
ready.
cold, and there's lots of
I'm an
them.
Aries and I'm competitive even when no one's paying any attention to me.
Yes.
Just being honest.
Well. It's
And
gonna
I'm
be-
drinking wine. So cheers.
Well,
everybody.
fantastic. Cheers. Here's
Been a week.
Here's to you. It's been a week.
Been a week. Yes.
Natalie,
Mm.
it's been a week. Have you gotten any good questions from the advice column?
I sure did. I thought
Talk
you'd
to me.
never ask. Okay.
Talk to me. What's going on?
So this one's kind of interesting because, everybody right now is kind of amped up about getting the vaccine and when they can get it and how they can get it and all that stuff. So this question came from a reader who was able to get on a list where if there's like leftover vaccines that are going to get thrown out, she knew somebody that was like, hey, come in and we'll give you one instead of it going to waste, which I think makes a lot of sense. So they both don't qualify yet for like whatever their first group is in their state, but they were able to get on this list. So she put herself and her husband on this list because they both wanted the vaccine. And then the opportunity came to get it on one of these throwaway lists. And her husband got really mad and refused to go because he said they should wait their turn. And she said, we are waiting our turn, but they're going to get thrown out. And he just thought that was wrong to have them on this list when there are other people that might need it more. So he refused to go at the last minute. So then she goes, gets her shot. Her friend who set her up for this, who's, I guess, some kind of medical professional that was there administering the vaccines, got mad at her because she said, I wish you would have told me your husband wasn't going to come because there are other people on this waiting list that I could have given his shot to, and now it's going to go to waste. So now she's like in a quandary because now two people are kind of pissed off at her. And now she's mad at her husband for putting her in this position. So she wanted to know what she should do or how she should have handled it better. So it was sort of interesting because it was like, I think a lot of people are actually grappling with this in the sense that, you know, is it okay to go on these lists, even if you don't necessarily yet qualify, even though those vaccines may get thrown out? Because I feel like especially on social media, there seems to be a lot of like vax shaming. Like, should you have gotten this? Should you not have gotten this?
It's the question of our time right now.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of it too, and people are feeling it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some kind of way. And then you talk to certain medical professionals and they're like, just get it.
Just get it.
Just get it and get out of the way. Like, just
well,
move
and
on.
the thing was, I felt like really connected to this question because both my husband and I were able to get on lists
one of the backups
recently. Yeah, on the backups. And we were both able to get vaccinated within the past week, our first round. And I'm just thinking to myself, but isn't this a good thing? Like, you know, I'm around my in-laws who are almost 80. I'm around my mother. You know, isn't it a good thing that I'm taking even more precautions than normal? So, you know, but there were like over 200 comments on this question, and people really had a lot to say about whether they thought her husband or not was being stupid. So
I believe
what are your
that.
thoughts?
I mean, at that point, I feel like, I mean, I get where the husband's coming from, but at that point, I would have been like, I would have taken the shot and been mad at my wife. You know what I mean? And instead of that, because it's like, why, like now it's going to go to waste and nobody gets it. And if he had gotten it, that'd be one less person that needs to get it in 2 weeks when it's wide open.
Yeah, so, that's kind of how I felt about it too.
And it was going to get thrown out. You know what I mean? It's because there was a lot. I mean, those kids, like a couple months ago and about a month ago, they were like those, like a shipment of vaccine got stuck on the side of the road in like a blizzard. And like all the people that helped got a shot when they were there because all the shots were going to go bad. Should they feel bad about it? I mean, it was literally going to get poured down the drain. I can understand both sides though.
I can too.
Like, I can see where he's coming from. And it's similar to like people having N95 masks in month 2 of the pandemic when medical professionals needed that shit. You know what I mean? So So I get that, but I mean, what's with the amount of vaccine that's getting put out there right now, there's gonna be waste. You know?
Well, yeah, and I think the bigger issue here, what he was actually really pissed off about, was the fact that she made the decision for him. Because I said in your letter, you didn't say to me that you talked to him about this. You just made the decision for both of you. And so I think that was more about what set off his ego, was the fact that she made this decision. And so he kind of balked at that, even though she was doing it just trying to be helpful. But I said, you know, moving forward, this indicates to me that you need to include him in important decisions. And maybe that's what the real issue is here, not about the vaccine. It just unfortunately happened to be that this was the issue that set him off.
That's legit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a tough question. I mean, and you answered it perfect. I think it's just, you know,
well,
what else can you do?
That's what I do.
Oh, stop it. Speaking of what you do you have one more?
I do. This one was kind of interesting too. So you know, it's so funny. Sometimes when you're answering these questions, I'll get some questions in my mind that I'm like, I don't really see people really responding to it very much. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh my gosh, everybody is responding to this question that I didn't think would get a big answer. And then vice versa, things that I think will really like spark interest, sometimes they don't. So you just never know what people are going to be gravitating towards. But this older woman wrote to me and said that her and her husband, who's elderly, it sounded like he was in his 90s, they were grocery shopping and, you know, they're wearing their masks and I guess it was cold wherever they were. They both had these big coats on and they were getting tomatoes. They were trying to just get tomatoes. And this guy, I guess, was behind the wife, and he came barreling up the side and kind of knocked into her. And she turned and said, "Oh, I'm sorry." And he like flipped out at her in the aisle and said like, "I have the right of way," and just started screaming at her in the middle of the produce aisle. And her husband was so scared because I guess he was a pretty large, like foreboding person. And she said he was like in his 30s, like much, much younger. very aggressive. And so it scared them, and they ended up like leaving the aisle. They didn't get their tomatoes, and like they were really upset. And she just was like, I don't understand why people are behaving this way in public over something so menial. Like, I apologized like 3 or 4 times, but honestly, she's like, I couldn't see him because she had this big like parka on and her mask, and and so people were asking me, or she was asking me, excuse me, what she should have done differently in that situation. And I didn't really think much of it, but people really responded to the question, and I think right now in particular, a lot of people are feeling sort of a lot of compassion for the elderly, because there's been so much in the news about sort of elderly people being accosted and assaulted. And I think that it really set off people's like emotional reaction to this woman being shoved by this much younger guy in the tomato aisle, and him screaming at her in front of a bunch of other customers about why she was in his way. And so I took it as, I think there's a lot of collective anger and frustration right now, and people are really taking it out on those around them that they know can't fight back. And this was an issue about him, and it had nothing to do with her, and she didn't do anything wrong. So that was kind of how I handled it.
And the guy was
terrible.
He's a total asshole.
My God.
You can say it, but like,
yeah.
I understand that people are pent up. There's a lot of aggression issues.
Right.
People are indoors. People are this, that. People are other thing. People still have problems with mask wearing. People have problems with this. People freak out in public places, and they don't want anyone in their space. Right. And I've been in a couple of grocery stores, liquor stores, whatever. Nobody follows the goddamn arrows that are on the thing, right? Like nobody does. And it's just like, I'm like literally like, I was just like, if you could see me scowling underneath my 3 masks, it'd be a whole thing. But like, I get that, but like, never to be an asshole, never to be a dickhead to like, especially on an elderly person. And I mean, hey, look, I know people in their 70s, 80s that could kick my ass, but what I'm saying is that I don't know about 90s, but I'm sure they're out there. But like, yeah, I just
like, how do you do that though? How do you?
No, you don't. I mean, the guy just should get his ass kicked. That's all. Yeah. I don't care how big and foreboding he was. He's just a dickhead and a bully. I'm sorry.
No, that was basically the approach I took too. That it was just a bullying situation, because you always prey on those that can't fight back. That's what a bully does, or is assumed that can't fight back, or won't fight back. So that was the direction.
You should get their address, and I'll mail them some tomatoes.
I know.
You know
I wish. I know.
Yeah, like I would love to just like give them like just a big like just a ton of tomatoes. Just like, I'm so sorry for like mankind.
I know.
All right. Those are some good ones. Well-rounded, very, very deep and of our time.
You never know what's coming down the pipe.
And if you have any questions at home, ask NATALIEadvice@gmail.com. Or if you have any right now, hit it up in the comments section.
Yes.
And next week we will have another installment of Ask Natalie Advice. But if you wanted more Natalie, tonight's your night.
You lucky people.
There's a very special 5 Minutes With coming up. Natalie, give me a quick intro of what people can look forward to later on tonight with 5 Minutes With.
Yes. So I kind of overextended myself, Patrick, because I put out this call to action last week. Like, hey, if you're running for political office or know someone that is, let me know. I didn't anticipate the reaction. I swear to God, I thought maybe like 5 people would email me. I've had over 50 requests.
It's so early in the primary season.
I know.
It's so early.
People are really trying to get
their name out there and their brand out there.
And so now I'm making it like, this is a challenge that I'm taking on. So you're going to see some people on 5 Minutes With this on Fridays. I'm going to do some bonus 5 Minutes With on my social. I'm going to do some Instagram lives. I'm trying to capture as many people as possible. So this week I'm going to be interviewing Bhavini Patel, and she is running for the Edgewood Borough
Council.
Yes, Edgewood Borough Council, and she's also the co-founder and CEO of Beam Data, which is amazing. She's trying to connect people with their legislators in a way that really hasn't been done before in the state of Pennsylvania, and it's a new app. So
okay,
I like the little music.
All right, well, I think that's
so
good.
I'm excited for everybody to get to know her better, and it was a truly amazing moment to get to chat with her. So I'm super excited for everybody.
So stick around for that.
Yes.
But before we let you go right now, Natalie,
yeah,
I think it's time for your time under the gun.
Okay.
Dick Knows, America's favorite quick show. Dick Knows
or
No.
Graphic.
There it is.
There it is.
Is it a Dick Knows?
Finally here.
Not? There we go. Now it's on. It's ready to go. So Natalie, go for it.
Let's do this.
Pete, Dave, do you want to throw to these, or do you want?
All right,
Pete
yeah,
to do it?
Natalie, here comes your first one. We're gonna start with just a person from the internet with no right. We haven't cleared the rights of any of these images. Let's have a look. See here. What do you say? Remember what the threat? You're under threat of having to eat cold vegan hot dogs. Don't forget that.
That's okay. I do that on my own anyway.
Fair
I'm
enough.
gonna say covered.
I'm going to agree with that. Covered. Yes, Natalie. Yes.
All right, next up,
Okay.
we got a famous one. Here we go. This
Oh,
is
I love
from
the
the
famous one.
famous people. This one, big in the late '90s or mid '90s.
He had a comeback. He's on a TV show now, though.
I'm gonna go uncovered.
Oh.
I
Oh
knew
my
it.
gosh.
Is that Rob Schneider?
That's Rob Schneider.
Yeah. My gosh.
That's Deuce Bigelow. Dick is just personified. just
Hey,
out.
Donna
just
knows.
swinging.
Donna's on top of it. She's right.
All right.
In and
We
Let's
got
out.
one more, maybe.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do it. I'm gonna say covered.
Oh.
So close. Sorry.
Oh, all right,
You're
Nat. Good work. You want to stick around? Maybe we'll bring you back for another round of
Sounds
Dick
good.
Knows or No.
I'm just gonna watch and drink my
America's
wine.
new favorite pandemic talk show, game show. Bringing it at you right now. All right.
Hey, Donna and I are on the same wavelength. She thought that one was in too.
Stick around. You can see more Natalie in about 15 minutes, maybe less. All right.
Oh, Pete.
Oh, Pete, put that thing away. Put that Wiener away. Oh my God! You know what? You'd be all right with a straight up mustache, Pete. I think it's time.
I think you could pull it off.
Like, look at that.
Mhm.
It's like almost like a Gomez. Look at that. That's pretty. Look at that. Oh, here's speaking about Gomez Adams. Did you know that was Sean Astin's dad? Was John Astin the guy that was Gomez on the Addams Family from Goonies and Rudy? I had no idea. I literally found out today on like a weird, like an ad that was on Facebook.
Hollywood is a strange place.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Anyway, I think we should roll on and get in our next guest, and hopefully we have time at the end to do another round of Dick Knows or No with the whole Alone Together Pittsburgh team. But right now, I want to give a quick shout out to another one of our sponsors, Farm to Table Pittsburgh, farmtotablepa.com. Go there, keep it real, keep it local. The best way to find out anything about how to buy fresh and buy local. You can find links to what all the farms are doing. Some of them are even delivering right now. You can find out where the farmers markets that you can go to are. Every Thursday, Doug Oster gives a talk, and this guy is the gardening guru that we've been waiting for. This guy is a genius. He was on the show about a month or so ago. Fantastic guest. They got everything that you need there, Farm to Table. And every Wednesday night, we do a different Buy Fresh, Buy Local segment that's brought to you from Farm to Table. And you don't want to miss what's coming up this week, let me tell you. And Farm to Table Pittsburgh is also a supporter of a festival that's coming up from our next guest. So let's bring him out, the one and only Dave BRACEY, who's doing our favorite segment, Local Brews with Dave BRACEY. And we'll be talking about local brews, local beers with Dave, and we'll find out a little bit more about the Barrel and Flow Festival that's coming up in a few short months. Here he is, Dave BRACEY. Dave BRACEY.
How y'all feeling tonight, man?
What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm alive.
Congratulations.
I'm on my dry month. So
oh jeez. This is
amazing. So it's Cushion OJ over here for the month of April.
That's as healthy as it gets. Here's to you. Cushion OJ. That's you know what's crazy to me though is the fact that this is real, because we lived through another dry month now. This is like, I can't believe this happened now. We lived through a dry month earlier in the pandemic, and now we're back to another dry month. It's really hitting home right now that we're in year 2.
Yeah, man. This is my second dry month for the show. And yeah, I mean, usually folks do the dry month in January. I need more sunlight, in my dry month. So I do them in April and whatnot. It's nice. It's nice to clear out the system a little bit, kind of get honed in, especially with the festival building. it's nice to like really hone in and kind of like get the emails answered, because that's really all festival building is answering all the emails, man. There's just so many goddamn emails. But yeah, weed helps. But
I'm glad you got it.
But I do still have some booze that I picked up over the weekend. I went all in at the last week here, and I stopped over at Hop Farm at a Pittsburgh Pale Ale, and that comes in at like 5.5. So it's very drinkable. You could crush a few of these. It's not crazy overly bitter. I can't tell you the textbook difference between an IPA and a pale ale, but typically a pale ale is a little softer and less bitter than an IPA. So if you're really just trying to go easy or even ease into to the whole pale ale or the IPA situation, a pale ale is not a bad place to start. Very rarely. I mean, if ever, I'm pretty sure that once you get past a certain IBU, you have to add that I in there. Shout out to Hop Farm. Malcolm is down there along with Matt, the owner, and they've been cranking out a lot of crazy shit. Matt's been down there for a few years now, and then Malk joined the team about a year ago. And he's got experience with Fatheads and Miller Coors and whatnot. So the combination of the two brewers has really brought out a lot of crazy shit out there. And then the pandemic really they started cranking up the canning, and we get to enjoy that from afar now. So shout out to Hop Farm. And the second one that I have here from them is Big Wit. It's a Belgian style wit beer. You're going to be getting notes of like orange, chamomile, and like clove. Super light. It's like the original hazy. If you talk to the old heads in the beer industry or whatever, they like to refer to that as the original hazy. Blue Moons and the like. If you're just looking to, again, nothing hoppy. Nothing too crazy malty or beer flavored. It's still beer flavored, but it's really, you squeeze an orange in there and it's very light and breezy and just something that you can drink on a spring day. So, I highly recommend that over the next couple of months. Very refreshing, and it's low ABV. Wit beers are typically 5.4. So yeah, in England that's a heavy beer, but in America we do everything big. So that's pretty light.
Speaking of big, did you see what East End Brewing did for their April Fool's joke?
No, the long boy.
The long boy. They had a beer that was like, I'm just trying to show it on the screen. It was like 3 feet long, like maybe 2 some feet long, and they had like a gimmick on their site about it, and people were buying it, and they had to return the money.
Why would they even make it so that you could actually? Wow.
I don't think they thought anyone was going to buy into it, but people ran to it, man. Like, packaging is king, man. I talked to a liquor rep once, and he was like, "I don't get it. Could taste like piss. If it's got a cool bottle, I'm going to sell it."
I thought it was real. Full disclosure, I thought it was real, and I was so psyched about it. I'm looking for it now, but I was hook, line, and sinker. I was like, "Oh, great, cool. I'm totally going to get that."
It's like. It was something like 42 ounces or something like that in a can, like
in a long, narrow can.
Yeah, it was wild. But I mean, that's craft beer, man. Folks will, if it's new, people will drink it. I mean, Coors Light has been selling millions of cans of their fucking donkey piss,
the silver bullet,
but it turns blue, so it's a cool can. People will do it. I'm not gonna lie, man. Some of those them prank beers looked really good.
Look at this. There it is.
Yeah. I mean,
the long boy.
I thought that was perfect. I was like, oh, that makes perfect sense. You know what I mean? Like, don't give me a skinny little. I hate it when they take a tall boy and they make it skinny. It's like a 12-ounce hidden in the tall. No, I'm bigger the better, and I was all in for this.
I would, to be real, if it was real, I would buy it for the gimmick. But that is just a nightmare, man. Like, first off, like it gets warm after a minute. But
yeah, you drinking like 40 ounces of warm beer.
Yeah, but other than that,
not me.
You would be either breaking a tooth eventually or knocking over a whole lot of shit.
I'll strap some,
because you're so used to just walking around with a beer, right?
Some duct tape and some cold packs, no problem, man.
Cane. It's like a walking cane. Like, you're just not like clear off the whole table.
I was gonna be the coolest dude on the beach.
How could you drink something without having to
you got to put in your feet like a didgeridoo.
That was them is stilts, man. You know what I mean, but yeah, no, I mean, I definitely wanted some of those beers that were popping on those. Like, it was like, oh, extra lactose, and I'm like, that sounds great. Like, give me more. One of them said 100% milk. Like, I was like it's just also
it's just milk with some it's just fermented milk with alcohol. Like all right, line me up. Let's see what it goes.
I was for it all, man. So I don't know, man. It's but it is wild with the April Fool pranks. How the Volkswagen changed their name to Volkswagen, and they added like 12 points to the stuff. So I mean, people. I don't know, man. It's interesting.
It's wild. Everybody wants the next thing. I mean, Coke's probably going to put out the new Coke again, and it's just and see what happens.
Was that Pepsi that wasn't named Peepsy really a thing? Or are they really making Peeps?
No, I think it's got to be. I don't know. I mean, it could be a setup like that. That's like next level April Fools. So like mid-March, you start teasing it out. You know what I mean? And then like do the launch in the morning and then April Fools at night. Like Ice-T said, I guess that what's his name? Who's the actor from Law and Order? The what's his name?
Ice-T.
Dave, what's the other guy? Not Ice-T.
Lemonade.
Who was the guy that was on SVU? Leandro talked about him in the one show. And Christopher Maloney, apparently. The actor Christopher Maloney, I guess he's been off the show for about 5 or 6 years, and he was going to have a comeback. And Ice-T was like, he's not coming on. It's done. And then people like just freaked out and lost their shit. He was like, it's April Fool. It's April 1st. Leave me alone. Like everything got rocked on that. So anyway, but
I'm surprised SVU is still a thing, man. That is a long running.
They're all long running. I did some math. This was like probably 10 years ago, and nothing's changed on it. And because I was thinking about actors putting Law and Order on their resume, right? And the math that I did, 3,000 actors every year could put Law and Order on their resume, because that's how many bit parts, one-line roles in the 4 Law and Order, SVU, Law and Order, Criminal Intent, Law and Order, this, Law and Order, that. Each one does like 30 to 50 episodes. Each one of them has like 20 or 30 speaking parts. You know what I mean? From like this and that. I was like, I did the math, and I was like, holy shit. They literally owned the television world like for a decade.
Yeah, they're
just Law and Order.
They're a tiny film country over there, man.
Pretty much. They make Tyler Perry. They put Tyler Perry to shame.
Yeah, it's the Dick Wolf over there, man. Employing a small country. Well, that's wild.
Speaking
Dick Wolf.
Speaking of Dick Wolf, are you down to play the new Alone Together Pittsburgh game, Dick Knows or No?
Oh, for sure, man. Yeah, I'm down.
All right, so I don't know if you got the rules from before. I don't know if you were watching earlier. You get a picture of somebody, and it's from like the bridge of their nose up, and you get to choose whether or not that person is it a dick nose or is it covered.
All
right. So you get the rules. Let's fly. Dave, tell Dave what's up.
All right, Dave, I'm going to pick out some good ones for you. Hang on. Oh, I got to wait. I got to go into start. Here we go. Here is the head you're looking at, and remember, if you lose and you get these wrong, you got to eat leftover cold vegan hot dogs that Pete has from last night's show. That's just, we're all taking it for the team with these hot dogs. Really, we don't want these hot dogs to go to waste, and everybody should eat these IKEA hot dogs. Alone Together Pittsburgh, brought to you by IKEA. IKEA vegan hot dogs, the best hot dogs in town. Here is the top of your, is this a dick nose or no? This is a famous person. Can you guess the famous person?
I'm gonna say no. No, that looks like somebody that is very concerned about their face, and didn't want to leave without some protection. I mean, the glasses are there as well. Like, yeah. No,
It's covered. It's covered. It is covered. It is not a dick nose.
Patrick, that's what you're saying too?
No, that's what Dave said. I'll get it. I'm going to say it's covered.
You're going to say it's covered. You're saying
And
those
so does
eyebrows
Dave.
are too tight to leave with a dick nose on. Okay.
Day and I are both saying it's covered.
Here we go. Dick Wolf. There's the answer. Megan Fox. Megan Fox, too hot for she got the makeup. Boom. She's dumping the 90210 guy. Forget it. On next. Thank you, 90210. Next.
Had I known somebody from the movie Transformers was wearing that mask, I would have surely said it was a dick nose. Nothing has come good from that.
I thought it was Russell Brand.
Here's the next one.
That's a dick nose.
I'm gonna say I want to agree with you, but I think these guys are trying to trick us in the booth day.
Yeah, I think. But then, what if they trying to trick us, but really not trying to trick us? What if it's What is old classic?
It's inconceivable.
Bride.
Inconceivable. That's exactly what I'm thinking. It's inconceivable. Yeah. All right. You know what? Dick nose. Yep. I knew it'd be covered. I knew you were trying to.
Boom!
That is just for a photo op.
That's just like you to say that, Patrick, that you would say that, of course. Oh, because you liberals always say that they're going to have their noses out, right?
He doesn't even know what. That is such a the MAGA mask is an oxymoron. It just doesn't even make any. But okay.
It's probably, if we zoom in, I bet you it's got airports right around the G and the A, like for easy access. I'm kidding. That's a fine mask. That's a fine coverage. All right, it's coverage. We can get it off the screen.
All right, next up, let's go on. If I were to zoom out, you'd be at a Chick-fil-A. Here we go. Next one.
Oh my gosh.
Now I could stare at this guy all day.
Oh my gosh, there's a lot going on here.
Yep. Yeah. He's got those deep eyes. I think those ocean eyes. You just want to swim away, get your raft out, get a cocktail. How about a beer that's 4 feet long?
I'm saying
stretch out on the beach.
I'm saying it's a dick nose.
You ready for this?
I'm going to say he's fully covered, man. I am getting lost in the woods of his hairline now.
There we go. Yeah, we got to be careful.
That is
scorched earth.
That's an interesting comb.
All right, here we go.
All right.
You guys are locked. Sorry, let's clarify.
We're locked. Day said it's covered. I say it's not.
All right, you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
What? What is that? Wait, is it? Wait
a minute.
Is that a plastic?
Wait a minute.
Is that?
Enhance.
That's a dick nose.
Wait a minute. Enhance.
No, that's a.
No, that's covered. That's. Wait. What is going on? That's plastic, right?
Wait a minute. Is that
that's
a
right.
mask with a picture of? Wait, is that? Why even have the plastic though? Or is that?
Man, look closely. Those are pixels on that nose.
That's a picture of it.
Is that a 3D
on a mask?
That's a 3D printed picture of a mask with a nose on the mask.
Yeah,
that's genius.
Here's the thing: we came up with this idea. We didn't patent it, and now jerks like this are running around with our idea.
Seriously, about month 3 or 4, we were going to patent our own masks, and this was going to be the look that we were going to go for with the nose out on the mask. But it was going to be more of a cartoon vibe, not like a real vibe.
His nose.
Jesus. All right. Well, there you have it. Day beat me that round. I think, Day, you got 2 out of 3. I got 1 out of 3.
Patrick, there's 2 more dogs for you. Day, you're spared with only 1 cold vegan weenie.
All right. Well, Day, unless you want to hang out and do this again after 5 minutes I will bid you adieu. And
Sweet.
Thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to drop about Barrel and Flow Fest? Did anything new happen this week?
Well, we dropped tickets. They are on sale officially this week, as well as some sweet ass merchandise.
The T-shirt is ridiculous. I am buying the T-shirt. It's sold. Done.
I had nothing to do with it. Our artists, working with great talent over here, and I mean, it's we're officially rolling. Tickets are on sale. Merch is on sale. We're wait till you see this glass that we're gonna come out with over here. But
Dave, click on shop. Go ahead. Yeah,
the VIP. There are only 250 of those tickets out of the 5,000 that we're inviting to the festival, and that gets you 3 whole days, a day full of conferencing, lunch, bottle shares on Friday, the festival throughout the day, Saturday, a private VIP area throughout, as well as a Sunday brunch.
Look at this shirt. That's the front of the shirt.
It's not, right? It's not terrible over there.
I love this shirt. And then on the back of the shirt, Dave, you just scoosh a little over to the side there. There you go. The back has the branding. I love a double. I love the front and the back.
I love a good double. I mean, I'm excited for the hoodies to come out. I'm excited to be producing events again. It's been a while. But we're almost
ready.
And we're pretty confident looking at these numbers. Folks are getting vaccinated, and I mean, we're distancing, and by festival time, hopefully we can safely gather again. We will be following all of the safety protocols. We want to make sure we're only doing 75% capacity on the indoor events and 60% of capacity on the outdoor events. So even with the vaccinations and the possible masks and things of that nature, we still want to give people room. This festival is always, even pre-pandemic, we never wanted to, throw a packed event. Nobody wants to be shoulder to shoulder with anybody. Nobody wanted to do that before the pandemic. Everybody really wants to do that now. Yeah. So, there's going to be plenty of room outside down there at Southside Works. Man, if you're looking for tickets, get them now. They're 15% off with the code Early Bird. And that's going to go for about a month that you can get that 15% off.
You're going to want tickets to this thing, folks. Just get the tickets now. You're going to want them when it comes around. Get it out of the way. Save the 15%. Erin Hart already has her VIP tickets.
I saw that, man. Erin's going to have to stop buying tickets to these events. It's embarrassing for me, man. It's the mayor. Like, the mayor shouldn't have to pay to get into anywhere. I mean, it's just, we all know who she is. So
she just walks in. She doesn't even need an ID. It's just like that velvet rope just opens. Just
there's a lot of people behind her. Like, I'm with her. Like, it's an affair. But we do appreciate Erin and all she does for the city and whatnot. So totally. Please, if you're watching, and again, we need artists. We have a lot of money to pay artists. So this festival isn't worth anything. Those T-shirts.
Artists. I gotta throw a couple artists at you that I'm sure but just in case, I might just throw some names at you after the show's over.
Yeah, by all means. And again, anybody watching, if you know any artists that are looking to get paid for their work, hit us up at barrelandflow.com. There's an application, right there on the website.
All right, Dave, thank you so much, and we will see you a week from today in week 2 of your dry month, and but still thoroughly entertaining. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
And go to barrelandflowfest.com, folks. Check it out. And tune in on Friday to see another shot of Dave Bracey with the Barrel and Flow Fest and local brews. All right. I think it's time now. We should keep things rolling here, keep it moving. And we told you it was coming up. I think it's time to roll right into 5 minutes with Natalie Bencivenga.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another segment of 5 Minutes With. I'm your host, Natalie Bencivenga, and I am so excited to have with me a very special guest today. Her name is Bhavini Patel, and she is the CEO and co-founder of Beam Data, which is a company operating at the intersection between social issues and data. She was also the founder of Be the Change, which is the only app connecting Pennsylvanians to their PA General Assembly members to provide legislative feedback. No grass is growing under her feet. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to be here today.
Well, thank you so much for joining me. So let's talk a little bit about Beam Data. How did this start?
So Beam Data was a company that I founded with one of my college close friends because we just noticed that there was a lack of representation when it came to data. especially when it comes to policymaking and how decisions are made. There was a sort of gap that we noticed. And so we took on a few different kind of projects, and one thing led to another, and it became a full-fledged company. But one of the specific projects we worked on was the 2020 census and doing some outreach work with that. And it really kind of opened up my eyes to the need for integrating data in terms of how we approach policymaking and how we invite others to the policy table.
Was this your background, or did this just like come to you one day?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So no, I mean, I don't have a data background, but I definitely do have a background in, working in community, thinking about policy, thinking about different social issues, have done quite a few different projects with nonprofits and have done a lot of research work. I graduated from the University of Pittsburgh, I've had funded research projects there, and then also got my master's in the UK from Oxford, and did quite a bit of research there too. And I could have done a lot of different things with that, but wanted to build something of my own and kind of contribute a unique perspective. And I think that Beam Data allows me to do that.
So how did Beam Data came Be the Change? So can you talk a little bit about the evolution of that and the importance of this app?
Yes, so that's a great question. So Be the Change is one of our products that we've created from Beam Data. And basically, so Be the Change is the only app that connects Pennsylvanians to their Pennsylvania General Assembly members. And the goal basically here is that our General Assembly member, there's a lot of information that's being passed through the Pennsylvania State Legislature, laws that directly impact our lives. And I think that there needs to be a better way of communicating with our legislators that truly reflects what's happening on the ground. And this was important pre-COVID, but I think COVID really amplified the necessity for this, because it's quite difficult for our elected officials to be in the community and have face-to-face conversations in this environment. And I think that moving forward, one of the things that we're going to take away is adopting digital tools. One thing that I also want to mention is that last year, Pennsylvania enacted around, I think, 140 laws, and only 27 of them addressed COVID-19. And at that point, we kind of had an understanding of what was happening. And so it's really important, I think, for us to have better access to how legislation is passing through the legislature, the system and process, so that we can give our input and be better informed citizens and better informed voters. And so that's kind of what we're trying to do with Be the Change. That's what the app does. So you can check it out.
Yeah, that's amazing. Where can people access this app?
So we have a web platform. You can access it at changeourstate.com. It's free. It's nonpartisan. So anybody in Pennsylvania can create an account and dialogue with their legislators. As long as their legislators have onboarded with us, you will get a response from them. And that's the commitment that they make whenever they decide to work with us. It's also on the iOS App Store for free. So you can Google Be the Change app and you'll find it there.
What I love about this in particular is it's really lending itself to a space of transparency and communication. Was that the intention behind this product?
Absolutely. Transparency, accountability, education, there's a lot of things that are not taught in school. And I'm kind of embarrassed to admit, I didn't really know the structure of state government. A lot of attention is oftentimes given to federal government, but Pennsylvania is a full-time legislature. We're one of the most expensive legislatures in the country, with 50 state senators, 203 House of Representatives members. That's massive, and that's affecting us. We need to know what's happening.
That's absolutely a great point. But it wasn't enough for you to just sort of stay on the sidelines and talk about these issues from a data perspective. You've decided to really get engaged yourself, and you're running for the Edgewood Borough Council. Can you talk a little bit about your decision to run? Why did you want to do this?
Yeah, so so it's funny. So I actually, this is my second time running. I ran for Allegheny County Council in District 8 during a special election. It's that sort of experience of knocking on doors and being on the ground that inspired the idea for Be the Change. Didn't win that race, but built Be the Change and did this sort of rodeo. And I don't know, I kind of missed it. I think I thrive on interacting with people and having conversations. And I think that so much of the work that I do with Be the Change is informed by what's happening on the ground. And I think that the closest way that I can stay connected to that work is by serving in my community and really getting a sense of what's happening and how people feel about different policy issues, so that we can build a better product, we can deliver a better service.
Yeah, and when it comes to running, why do you think it's important that women, people of color, other minorities in our communities stand up and say it's time for us to have more representation? Why is that important to you?
I think at a fundamental level, representation is important, right? Like everybody has different lived experiences. The way that I grew up, my mom is from India. I have an immigrant background. I was born in the US, but the sort of struggles that she went through, that's a lot of knowledge, right? Like that's a lived experience that many people in this country are having. And so unless you've kind of gone through it, you're not really going to know how to shape policies around it. And I think that if you have something unique to say, if you have a unique lived experience and, you sort of enjoy policy, enjoy interacting with people, then you should pursue that goal. And that it's a call to service in a sense. If that excites you, then you should stake out your seat at that table. I think that's important.
I agree completely. And, when you were saying that, I started thinking about this idea of the diversity is really what is our strength, right? Because having these different experiences really lends itself to a much better understanding of what people are facing. So in your experience and in your opinion, do you think, though, that representation equals liberation? And what does that mean to you? Liberation.
That's a great question. And so I want to go a step further what you said. I think representation also makes us a healthier democracy. It strengthens us internally so that whenever we reach moments of where, we have disagreement, like we can come through and on the other side and come together. And so does representation mean liberation? I don't think so. I mean, I think liberation is a constant goal that we strive towards. And the reason is that because I think that liberation means something different in a given time moment. Things are constantly changing, experiences are constantly changing. We're seeing new things come into the world. And so liberation, it means something different to someone. And, whenever they decide to stand up and voice their opinions and kind of talk about this policy gap, they're working towards their variation of what liberation means. And then that's a new standard and it's a new goal that we set for ourselves. And that to me is the beauty of democracy.
I couldn't agree more. I really appreciate you taking a little bit more than 5 minutes with me. And I look forward to seeing your journey as you move forward. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime.
All right. Well, all right. We're winding down another fantastic installment of 5 Minutes With. And you're going to see a lot of the political 5 minutes with here, not just on our outlets, but all of Natalie's as well, because she's got 56 more that she's got to do before the primaries.
It's fine, guys. Everything's fine.
She just it's fine. Everything's fine. The whole room's on fire. But anyway, I want to thank Natalie, Dave, of course, Pete, Bunny, Dave Mansueto. And again, I'm Patrick, and thank you all for being here to cap off week 55 with us. We will see you for week 56. But before we go, it looks like we have one more. Natalie, go.
Okay, I'm going to say yes. He's covering his nose.
Covering his nose. I'm going to say he's covering his nose as well. Pete, you already know.
I know.
No,
look at that. He's got a pair of underwear on his face.
You know what?
The goggles should have been the giveaway.
The goggles weren't. I thought we were getting tricked like the MAGA hat. So y'all are they're out thinking us. It's inconceivable. Damn it.
All right. You never get involved with the Sicilian when death is on the line. All right. So anyway, thank you all very much. Tune in next week. We've got another fantastic week. We've got the Farm to Table. We've got Kate Romaine, What Kate Ate. We've got Natalie Day, and we've got another installment of Dick Knows or No. All right. So we will see you next week. Thank you all very much. Take care of everybody and keep wearing your mask. The United States average of the COVID vaccine was 3 million per day this last week. It's coming. It's coming. Get ready. Just don't trip on the finish line. Thank you all. We'll see you on Monday. I'm going to keep pointing until the camera goes away. Thank you all very much. We'll see you then.